Just as fire, through a definite process of association with matter, assumes itself to be wood. I love this example. Just as fire, through a definite process of association with matter, assumes itself to be wood. Next time you see an open fire, sit for some time and watch this wood. It looks like fire surrounds wood initially. The flames look like they are on the wood. And after some time, that whole wood piece becomes fire. You must have seen that. You could get a stick and you can poke your stick right through that burning ember. That wood becomes fire, but fire does not become wood. So similarly, the fire of consciousness, the fire of pure being, pure existence, pure knowing, pure seer, pure God, in its association with matter, with form, with thinking, does not become form and thinking. So just as fire, through a definite process of association with matter, assumes itself to be wood, whenever the mind as body consciousness becomes the doer, which has to happen when one is working, the mind says, I am doing. It is as if the fire were to say, I am going to be cut. In its association with wood, it will have fear of being cut in half. And we know that fire cannot be cut in half. I'm going to be cut. This idea, this illusion will come with the idea of cutting firewood arises in someone's mind. This identification is exactly what happened to Arjuna. He is the symbol of forgetfulness of his true nature. He forgot his Krishna nature, meaning true self, ever present, ever free, whose properties are not those of body-mind. Ever present, ever free does not have the properties of thinking mind, of the solid mind. Krishna means one reality. Krishna nature means the nature that is eternal power. By becoming manifest body-mind, one has not changed into anything other than the underlying reality whose nature is pure existence, pure consciousness, and all the powers of manifestation. When material forms or modifications do not manifest, self is absolute, ever present, ever free, which cannot be comprehended by the human mind. So this was one paragraph. I thought not to get too complicated with scriptures, but just to leave that with you to contemplate. I love this image of the fire, thinking that it will become cut in its association with wood. This observing of language, the observing of how we form words and their effects, although there's a lot of commentary on how we use words. A lot of commentary on this. Oh, I shouldn't have said this. I should say it better. I should speak more. I should speak less. I should speak high. I should speak low. I should speak this and that. Speaking is a kind of form. But as in the chakra meditations, those who are there, we symbolize the speaker and the listener as two forms. But actually, what is speaking and what is hearing is the space. Space is non-doer, and yet we really get caught up in words. We get insulted by people's words. We get inspired by people's words. We feel cut off and separated from people's words. If someone says, get out, then we feel rejected. So many feelings come with words. Are words wood or are words fire? We can start to see all that is in manifestation appearing to be wood pieces. that can be cut. And in that cut, the division is endless. Opinions. What are words other than opinions? So you cut that word, and now you've got Sunni opinion, Shia opinion, Christian opinion, Jewish opinion, democratic opinion, socialist opinion, liberal opinion, conservative opinion. How many ways we cut an opinion, and all wood is actually fire. So how we can bend our brains around this truth. This manifestation is not just lots of little single pieces of wood. It is all fire. Even the wood is fire. So with this contemplation in your mind, it will bring that fire into your words, and that will have a unifying effect. It may not have an effect in an obvious level. They may still argue with their opinions and be divided on their opinions and in their words and in their philosophies. That which is solid, the identification with form, can be cut. That which is true, more like fire or light, presence, being, pure existence, pure consciousness, cannot be cut. So let us know, Claire, how it went.
Yeah, no, thanks. The metaphor with the wood and fire will really help me, I guess. I will try even to present that.
Trust it. You just go in with pure heart. That's it. You know, you do already know how that becomes communicated. It's not your doing. You can only do what is true and pure, and how it is received and what is the result of that. And that is the second aspect of the Bhagavad Gita, this teaching of non-doership. Once the action is already in motion, do not remain attached to the results of that action. Do not remain attached to the results. It doesn't say, make sure the result is good. Only good results, like we were trained in school. You're going to get an F. If you go in knowing you cannot fail, you cannot fail because your actions, once out there, the work is then do not remain attached to the results of your action. So these two teachings are the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. You are non-doer. Who is speaking? Space, not clear wood piece. Who is hearing? Space, not wood piece, opinionated, angry people. Space speaks, space hears. Now, once you throw in the wood into space, you have to be free from the attachment, the results of your actions. And it just comes to when your intention is pure, then something very beautiful is revealed. Lovely, Claire. Nice. Anyone else like to say anything? It's very interesting. You see, a deep meditation can also feel like sleep because there is no commentator there anymore. When the commentator falls asleep, we say, I was not there. And that is absolutely not true. You are ever present. When the commentator sleeps, there's no one to register doing. So I was serious saying this is the ultimate state of non-doing. But as you pointed out, it is not going to be helpful when we have to get into action with the body. So now this becomes the amazing puzzle that we as seekers have to put together. How do I remain asleep and consciously act? What are we asleep to? Not asleep as in dull and unconscious, but asleep to means conscious of the one who really is acting, pure consciousness. not the identification with the commentator. The commentator always assumes doership. But as we saw in the meditation, and that's the basis of meditation, thoughts come uninvited. You observe them arise and you observe them change. You observe them pass. This is a very, very subtle experiment that the meditator does. It reveals a lot. So you're all scientists, really. Observe this incredible phenomena that otherwise goes unnoticed. I think is the more common stand. I do, not I observe. In this I observe, pure consciousness, pure existence, pure seer, pure knower, non-doer self is revealed. When material forms or modification means any modification of form. So a thought is a modification of form. When all modifications do not manifest, self is absolute. This is the state of sleep. There is no modification of form. You are self with yourself. This cannot be comprehended by the human mind, because it is the human mind that falls asleep in sleep. But you are not asleep. You are awake. So another non-doing word that is used, awakening, enlightening, remembering, revealing, realizing. Lovely. Absolutely. It was not sleep. And actually, there's a name for it. Nidra is the word for sleep in Sanskrit, nidra, Nidra. And yoga nidra means that kind of sleep, which is of deep meditation. So you were in yoga nidra, not sleep. At nighttime, when you meditate at night, it is that fine line between sleep and meditation. So never mind if you fall asleep, it is a lovely space. Similarly, when you wake up in the morning, is that fine line between sleep and meditation. It is helpful to experience that, because if you were only to meditate in the middle of the day when you're very active and you know, there's a kind of momentum of doing, it's hard to find the subtlety of that in-between state. So it's actually helpful to play, as you did, play on that line between sleep and meditation. Absolutely.